Oh my goodness, guys. I have had the lowest amount of energy. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't know if it's just so much just going on mentally, physically, emotionally. It's starting to just kind of take its toll. You know how you have those days where you're just like, I need a moment. That's how today has been a little bit. Yesterday was kind of a little bit more. So I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. We've been printing on the 3D printers. I got the snap maker back up and going yesterday. It was not working. The day before that, it was not working. I decided it's just not going to work. So, you know, I've been having issues with that multiple times. You guys all know that. So now, hello. So now you guys know, obviously it's working. I've got a Highland cow on it right now, the little toy Highland cow. I'm going to print that. The bamboo's been printing, and I'm going to show you guys what we've been printing there. We just ordered some new filament because I'm going to start going through filament. We are now in Scarefest mode, and I know it seems kind of silly because Scarefest isn't until October, but when you're printing and your prints take 4 hours plus or whatever, you need to start getting things going. So I started printing with a Michael Myers mask. If you don't know what this is Michael Myers from Halloween, the movie franchise. It's a mask. It's not going to be used as a mask because, one, it doesn't even fit my head. But it's more like, I guess, a kid size. But that's not what I'm doing with it. What I'm going to do with these is I am going to either paint them and turn them into lights, or because you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can show you guys with my little light. So underneath, see how like you can see the print, how it printed the inside. So I really don't like that look. I mean, if it was like this, it wouldn't be so bad. I mean, because that's kind of creepy. And Michael is creepy. That is, I've got to decide what I'm going to do with it. But I did print it. It is done in white. I could go over it with white, and then maybe that wouldn't show through so much. We'll have to see. I did a Jason mask from Friday the 13th. These are going with me, guys, to Scarefest. These are not going to be on the website. And then I did a ghost face, which obviously you can tell it doesn't have all the extra pieces. But I would like to make some wood frames for these so that they have a place to sit. I did make this. This is called a book nook. You can actually hang it on the wall. It's got these little holes in the back. You can actually hang it up, which is kind of cool. And right now I'm printing a Freddy Krueger one. These, like I said, I'm in Scarefest mode. So that to me is going to be lots and lots of fun. I'm still printing things that are toy or like dragon or whatever on the snap maker so that the snap maker can do these kind of projects like the dragon that I printed. He's really, really detailed, and they do take a long time to make. This one, its head is, I didn't glue its head on. I didn't have to glue the pin in. It actually fit fine. I'm not going to paint its eyes. I like the color of the dragon. I like how it changes as you move it. Those are one of our popular dragons that we've sold. I actually sold out of all of them at Comic-Con. And then, obviously, I printed this little dragon. And that's more just a tiny little guy. Just some smaller things like that I've been printing. I went through and took pictures of all of the ones I had on my table. There were 24 of them, which I was starting to get crowded on the table from. So I went and took pictures of them. They're going to get ready to get loaded up on the website. But these ones I have to, I'm going to take with me to Scarefest, like the chameleon. I know you guys have seen this one before. The chameleon. This filament is actually made out of wood. It's got wood in it. And then we printed the unicorn. So I've got to paint the unicorn's hooves, and I got to paint its eyes. But I like how it turned out. It's just kind of really cute and rainbow-esque. And then, thank you, Thunder. And so the way it printed, obviously you can see it printed this way. So that's why the legs have got that color variant. I actually think it's kind of cool looking. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a uniqueness to it. So we got lots of really cool things going on. I need to get back into doing sublimation. I need to really start getting back into doing things like that, I just have not had the energy. I've just been emotionally drained. As many of you guys know, we have, in my family, we've lost many family members in the past since last February. We lost 5 family members, and it's been really, really hard just kind of coping with all of that. And so I need to get back into doing things that are starting to make me feel better about me and about my mental health and all of that stuff. And so I went up to Michigan, that's where I'm originally from, and went to a memorial party for my grandfather. It was odd, to say the least. It just didn't feel, I don't know, it just didn't feel right, as weird as that sounds. It felt off from the moment I woke up that morning all the way through. And it just kind of was one of those moments that you sit back and you're like, what was that? Like, what happened there? I don't know if it's because I'm already starting the grieving process. So, because we had I know I'm getting really personal here, guys, but we had a celebration of life for my mother. My mom was really big into Halloween. She loved Halloween. And so we did it on her birthday. Well, it was actually before her birthday in November. And that felt like it was about her. My grandpa's didn't feel like it was about my grandpa. I mean, there was a little bit about my grandpa, but it just kind of, I don't know, it just felt off. And so I've been a little funky ever since I got back from that. And I think it's just taken an emotional toll on me. So I need to start doing things again that I absolutely love. 3D printing, sublimation, DTF, working on the buttons. I want to get all these things done. I don't want to wait till the last minute, wait for the last month. I am not one of those people that can just procrastinate. I cannot wait till the last minute. I get anxiety just thinking about it right now. Like, it's like, I freak out a little bit. And so to me, it's like, I've got to be ahead of the game. And so I'm dealing with, like, all of that stuff. And then I'm going to sign back up for Comic-Con. And I'm debating on if I should stay with a smaller booth or if I should go with a bigger booth. And part of me wants to go with the 10 by 10 booth. Maybe not do as big of a booth as I'm doing for Scarefest. Scarefest is my bigger event. I just do that one every year, and this is year 4. It'll be 3 in attendance because 1 year I didn't get to attend. So part of me is like, maybe I just need to stay in a smaller confined booth till I kind of get my bearings. Because last year's was great, or this year's, technically. It was this year's because it was in March. It was amazing. It went really well. I was very, very excited about it. I just don't want to, push myself too far forward and bite off more than I can chew. Now my other phone is trying to pick up my voice, which I didn't even say anything. So that was a little weird. But, so this has just kind of been, the norm for me. And I'm debating on staying with a smaller booth. I did find a candy company. They do other candies than the stuff that I was doing before. They do, prepackaged candies, movie theater candies, things like that. And then they do, vintage candies that were for, when, kids were younger. And, even some that when I was younger, they have, stuff like that. So I am looking at that more. Again, I'm still looking into doing the international shipping. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. It's the energy that I need to just be okay, let's get this done. I woke up today, and apparently, according to my ring, I did not sleep well, and I can feel it today. I feel run down. I feel like I got the pictures of all the stuff. I just don't have the ambition. And so I need to sit down, and I need to have, a moment, and then turn around and start working, because not getting things done on my to-do list also gives me anxiety, and it drags me down. So it's just a vicious cycle. But I'm going to show you guys real quick while I've got you guys, I'm going to show you guys what we're doing over here with the snap maker and with the bamboo. So let me turn the camera around. So currently right now we are printing the body of the Highland cow. Highland cow is a pretty good size, as you can see. It's a pretty good size, and it's got many hours to do. Okay, so here is what the bamboo is printing. As you can see, it looks just kind of like the box that this Ghost Face. This one is Freddy, and it's just Freddy though because his hand is going to come out of the box with his claws, so I got to print that on a separate plate. Bamboo, obviously, when it does it by plates, it's a little different than what the snap maker does. The snap maker is just like, okay, it'd be another file. I've got my office I've got to clean up because I have a friend coming. She is surprising me, and I'm so excited about it. I thought it was my husband's friend that was coming, and it turns out it's my friend that's coming. So it was a really good surprise. I'm really happy about that. I'm going to set the phone on a different phone holder just because I don't want it to fall, and I don't want to shut it off by accident. So like I said, guys, we need to get back into doing sublimation stuff, you know, like this stuff, and doing DTF and doing all of that. I have family portraits I've got to go through. I think those might be a in May kind of situation, so I'm probably going to take them and store them for a little bit due to the fact that I just don't know emotionally if I can handle going through all of them. But we are still working on a lot of projects. I don't know if I showed you guys these ones. These are lizards that we printed. This is a little gecko lizard, and then this is an iguana lizard. I have the plant base that I can print, and I have a rock base I can print. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to print them or I'm just going to sell them kind of like this. I'm trying to make things a little bit more budget friendly. Obviously, the economy here in the United States is all over the place. So we definitely need to work on that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm going to paint this one and kind of just get a feel for to see if that would work or not. I like it the way it sits. I really do. Maybe if I don't make it a lamp and I just put it on a piece of wood, that might look really, really cool as well. Which I could see doing that. You know what I mean? Like I could see that being a thing. And now this one does fit my face, so it technically could be used as a mask. But I think this one just, I don't know, there's something about it I just really love turning it into some kind of art. Because one, obviously his hair isn't there. It would be kind of cool to get the wig maybe and stick it on it. I don't know. But I think if you know anything like about any Comic-Cons or any cons, like Scarefest, they have people who buy things like this and then they get it autographed. I'm not 100% sure if any, well, I do know that at least one person has signed up that has played Michael is going to be there. So that could be a potential thing for them to sign, because I personally, when I have a signature done, I like things that are unique. So I made one that says go jump in the lake, and I had Kane Hodder, who played Jason in Friday the 13th, I had him sign that one. And then I made one that says you may run fast, but Michael walks faster. And I had Nick Castle, who played the original The Shape, which was Michael Myers. I had him sign that one. So I personally like things that are unique. I have some art that I got from a guy at Comic-Con. I have some art hanging up in my office anyway. And he does these really cute cat pictures that are cats and different things. So it's like a Deadpool cat or a Batman cat or whatever. And I got one that's a Freddy Krueger cat. It's a Sphinx cat, and he's all wrinkly, and he's got the little claws. And I think that's going to be super cool, and I'm going to put that in a matte frame and have him sign that. I just personally like things that are unique. That's why I was thinking like things like this that are hard plastic. Maybe if they're on a piece of wood, they can hang it on their wall, or they can hang it directly on their wall like this, because technically you could hang it like on a hook or something like that. But I feel like a nice piece of wood behind it would be a really cool accent piece, almost kind of like a plaque, you know, something, you know, put that on there. And then I thought about doing the design right here, but I think I'm just going to leave it white. I do have other filaments that I can make. And I probably could print the Michael mask bigger. I absolutely could. And when I printed it with tree support, so the tree kind of came in here at his eyes and then his nose and at his ears, and it was really weird looking when it came off the printer. I kind of wish I would have taken a picture of it. It was kind of funny looking. And so I've been doing like things like that, and I'm just gonna leave these white. I was gonna paint this all black, but I like it white. I just think it's really cool and unique. And then if somebody wants to paint them, hey, go for it. You can paint them. That's one of the nice things too about the 3D prints, is that if you get these and they are white and you want to paint them, you absolutely can. Another thing is you could always put mesh in here, like the mask is actually like, if you wanted to print things like that. So these are just some of the things that I've been printing and working on. Like I said, I'm in Scarefest mode with the bamboo. The stamp maker's kind of just making the toys like these guys and stuff like that. So we've been working on all of that kind of stuff. Also, trying to get back into the swing of things. I need to get the Week Rate is up and running. I just need to get the software updated. I need to get the material put out there. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to go and buy some plaques that are thicker wood, because I don't have really thick wood with those. And then I'm going to get these on the plaques, but I'm also going to burn, using the Week Rate, the name of what it is, like Friday the 13th Jason mask, Ghostface, like these things are technically copyrighted, so that's why they're not going to be put on the website. They're going to go with me to Scarefest, and honestly guys, I'm looking at buying another bamboo printer, expanding my printing ability. Not that the Snap Maker's not a good 3D printer. It works really, really well. It really does. It works really well when it's working. I've been going through the hot ends like crazy, and that to me just seems really insane. When you buy a hot end, it's $10 a piece. So I got a deal where they had 2 of them for $10, so I bought 2. And then I kept thinking to myself, I just replaced those hot ends not even a month ago. I haven't done enough printing for it to warrant buying all those hot ends. So there might be something going on with the head, the printer head, the extruder, that I do not know. But again, I'm just working on trying to get things done for Scarefest, getting things done toy-wise and Halloween style. I have some Thing, from Adam's Family. I have some of those prints that I would like to print out on the bamboo. I have like all of the horror movie icons. I have the classic horror movie icons as well. I have Dracula and the Thing. No, it's not the Thing. Sorry. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and I have the Creature from the Black Lagoon, like those classic horror movies. I just want to get things printing, and I've got some really cool prints that I've found, and they're like the Grim Reaper or a ghost that sits on a shelf. They're kind of cool little things like that I'm just going to print and put on the shelves. I was going to only do 1 bookcase of 3D prints, but now looking at all of my 3D prints that I have, more than likely I'll be doing 2 bookcases. And so that's going to kind of limit my displays a little bit. So I'm kind of in my head going through how I'm going to set it up, because I think it worked great the way I had it set up last year. People were a little confused about coming into the booth, but I think if I did, instead of an 8-foot table in the front, if I did a 4-foot table in the front and a 4-foot table where we can sit behind, that's going to open the booth up, because it's a 10 by 20, and it's going to allow a lot of people to be able to come into the booth and be able to, see everything and go through. I only have 4 bookcases. It might come to a point where I might have to buy more, which I just got them off Amazon. They're collapsible. They literally fold to like this wide. I just bought a trailer, a covered trailer for the business, so that's exciting. I'll be putting my logos on there pretty soon, so I'm trying to, get those done. I'm probably going to outsource that only because of the time restraint that I have, because my vinyl cutter doesn't do super, super big pieces. It only does, like a 12 by 12. So I need something that's going to be bigger. Working on that. Working on adding the beading with PTSD to the website. Working on just updating a lot of that stuff. And as a lot of you guys probably know, I do sponsor Miwa the Fox, also here on Twitch. And so the logo for Miwa is going to go onto the trailer as well. And there will be a big QR code, and I will show you guys pictures of it when we get it done. Right now it's sitting in storage. I finally found a storage place for it, because we can't have a trailer sitting outside, unfortunately, because we live in an HOA community and they don't want trailers sitting on the road. I get it. I understand it. To me, it's a little odd, but I understand it. So it's just been a lot of things like that. I know I'm not going back to Michigan for a long time yet. I am actually going to be here until the end of May, because I have to go up for a graduation. And so at the end of May, so that gives me a lot of time to get things going. I am working on the website still, guys, so thank you guys for all your patience with that. We've been trying to work on just a lot of things like the DTF, the sublimation. I really want to get into making more sublimation stuff, like those signs I was telling you guys about for like the vehicle, like these metal signs with the suction cups. There's a lot of things that I just have a list of things that I want to do, and I want to show you guys behind the scenes. That's why I'm like kind of giving you guys the behind the scenes of what has been going on here personally and professionally, looking into getting more equipment, looking at getting into other things like the buttons. I do have the button maker. Hold on a second. I'm going to go grab it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I have not yet done anything with it, and that is a shame, because I think it'd be a lot of fun. So I have this button maker. You literally put the buttons, like the badge maker is what it's called. And you put them in here, and then you spin it and you press it. I want to make lots of cool pins. I don't know, but when growing up, they were always called pins. They weren't called buttons. They weren't called badge. They were called pins. That's what we called them. I don't know if it's a Michigan thing, and that's just, like how Michiganders speak. But it's got a QR code, so I'm going to see how it's the tips and tricks, and we want to get into that. I would love for you guys to be able to see us do that. Maybe some logo information on some of them, like the Riverstone Cottage Gifts logo, the Beating with PTSD logo, Me with the Fox logo, things like that. I do still have the ribbons from Comic-Con. So if you guys are interested in ribbons, of course, I will be happy to send those. But yeah, so it looks like just a lot of fun. And I am a crafty person. I love learning new things, and I love being able to create different unique gifts and products. So the only thing that is not going to be my own on the website will be the candy, and obviously the Beating with PTSD is not my stuff. There is some artwork I will have on there of artists. I love giving other people opportunities to display their art. My sister, who I lost in January, her art is still going to be put on there. I have art from a couple different artists, and I love being able to support local art. I am huge into, like I said, supporting other small businesses. That's kind of the umbrella of Riverstone Cottage Gifts. I like having other little entities underneath the business. It is a small business. It is created by me, but I like bringing in other things. So there is a Linktree link. I'm pretty sure it's in my about, and that will take you to all the links for all social media, all shopping links, all of that kind of stuff, and how you can support and follow, because every person who follows and supports makes a huge difference to me and to the whole of Riverstone Cottage Gifts family. Even if you guys are just watching, even if you guys are just like, hey, this is really cool, I love it, thank you so much for showing us, that means a lot to us, because it's letting us know that people do care. People are out there who love to see our stuff, and it makes you feel good, especially when you are your own business owner and you are making products that people love. That is a huge thing, and I want people to be satisfied and love everything that they can purchase from us. I'm also getting back into doing the earrings, because I've gone through the website and kind of cleared out a lot. The these dice sets, these ones right here, like these little dice sets. I don't know if you guys, like, I took them completely off because I have to go through and I have to inventory what I have left from Comic-Con. Those ones that I have that are sitting in my storage unit right now from Comic-Con are probably never going to go back onto the website. I'm going to have to get some that are just specifically for the website, put them in so you guys, they're going to be available. There's going to be deals going all month long in April. There's going to be deals. I'm trying to do a deal every month, just a special promo that goes on. Usually I put it in the pop-up that comes up on the website, because at the top, that is where I have the Miwa link where you can click on it. So our website is www.riverstonecottagegifts.com. Again, you can find the links in our link tree. And if you're watching this right now, currently I am live on Twitch, but if you're watching this on YouTube, because I do share it over to YouTube, please subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our lives. Plus, I will put that description in there. I'm going to also send this over to Facebook, because I'm trying to be more active in Facebook. I've been kind of like veering away from doing a lot of Facebook stuff, because Facebook has changed their parameters. They want you to they want to delete your videos after 30 days. But if I have these saved on YouTube, I'm good, because I can always download them and put them into an external hard drive. So I'm good there. I am still currently with Red Aspen. I'm still doing stuff with Heart and Soul. But my main focus right now is Riverstone Cottage Gifts and the Riverstone Cottage Gifts family, with all of the art and all of that stuff. So I will be doing a lot of updating of the website, guys. I know I've been saying this for a while, and I probably have been saying this for a couple months, but life has gotten pretty chaotic. And there's been a lot of times where I'm just like, you know what? I just want to stay in my bubble, and I just want to deal with that. And I want to just make sure that I'm taking care of me, because I can't pour from an empty cup. So I want to thank everyone for all of your guys' support. I want to thank everybody for just sitting there and listening to me talk and listen to me rant about life. And I would love to thank you all for watching and seeing like the cool prints that we've been printing. Like I said, we will be working on Scarefest items. So you guys are going to kind of get to see the things that are going to be heading with us to Scarefest, which is really cool, because Scarefest doesn't even happen until October. So people aren't even going to get to see that merch until October. But if you are, by any chance, going to be in the Lexington, Kentucky area during Scarefest, please pop in. Come say hello. I love meeting people who have found us on social media. I love being able to talk to people who are like, oh my gosh, I remember you being here from last year or the year before. I remember you from Comic-Con, whatever. And it just makes me feel like, it lifts my spirits up, and it just makes me feel good. And I love that people remember Riverstone Cottage Gifts, and that's a huge thing for a small business. I am here in Kentucky, so I pretty much just do, right now I'm only doing, this year, I'm only going to be doing Comic-Con and Scarefest. Next year, I'm probably going to be doing Comic-Con I might be doing the fair in Woodford County, which is the next county over. And obviously Scarefest is another one, but I'm thinking about doing another, just a small event, maybe even just doing something virtually, a virtual event. That would be kind of fun. And so I'm just trying to get all these pieces in place so that when I go to be active and live, you guys can see the things that we're doing. That print has, let me check it real quick. This print still has 2 hours and 50 minutes left on it. So as soon as that's done, I'm going to do the hand that's going to connect to it. And I will show you guys on Friday the finished project. You guys will get to see some projects that will be done by Friday. I'm going to go live Wednesdays and Fridays here on Twitch. I'm going to try and go live at least once a week in Facebook. I have not done any lives on YouTube ever. That's one of the things I've never really done. So I probably will eventually get that going. I just need to only start out small and then work my way in. There might be a time where I will go live multiple times during a week. I just, like I said, I need to get back into the groove of things. I have a lot on my plate right now with taking care of, just my mental health and everything like that. So right now I'm going to get ready to paint this unicorn. Paint its eye. I did notice, though, guys, I'm going to have to get some new markers because my acrylic markers are starting to fade pretty bad. So obviously these hand painted cannot go into a bathtub. They can't go into the water because the water will pull that color right off of the eye and off of the hooves, because of the fact that it is acrylic paint and acrylic is water soluble. I could go in and paint these with the bamboo so it would print in multiple colors, and it might come to that point where I do that like I did kind of with the frogs. But I feel like the unicorns and the horses and all that stuff can be done the way that I'm doing them right now. I also need to print some more axolotls because I sold out all my axolotls. They're gone. And I feel like a lot of people love axolotls. I've noticed that. They just love them. And they're very cute. In real life, they're really hard to take care of. But, plastic one, obviously that would be easy to take care of. So, I need to print some more of those. So things like that I'll be printing on the snap maker due to the fact that the bamboo, I can print them, but I'm trying to do more of my Halloween themed stuff on snap maker. I have some buckets that I want to print, like Halloween buckets, some Halloween decor. I was printing stuff like that on the snap maker, and then the snap maker decided it didn't want to work. So I'm a little leery about doing that. So as you can see, I'm going to have to do another coat on these. But they do paint really, really easily. And so if you are... Oh my goodness, guys, I just painted right on the side of that. Well, I guess this one's going to get painted on the back side. If you guys buy something and you want to paint it, you absolutely can do that. I did not mean to paint on the back, but that's now, I guess, how it's going to be. And I'll have to do that with the other legs now, too. Like I was saying, my concentration has just been really off. I just think it's, everything going on. Sometimes you just got to take a little bit of time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Mental health is very important. Sometimes you just need someone to lend an ear and just chat and listen. I just want everybody to know that this is a safe space. No judgment here. I don't want any negativity. I want everyone to enjoy themselves and love what they're watching and be able to feel like they can participate in the conversations and not feel like they're being judged. You are not being judged. I am not going to judge you, and nobody else here will either, because this is a judge-free zone. That's what I want for Riverstone Cottage gifts. I hate when people bully. It drives me nuts, especially adults. I'm like, what are we doing? This is not okay. Not okay. So if you decide you want to say something, you guys feel free to share away. Okay. I kind of like it painted on both sides. At first I didn't like it, and now I'm like wondering if I should do that with the horse that's already over there. If I should just leave it the way it is. I didn't think it would look right because I was like, it's flat. It's going to look weird. But actually it doesn't look weird to me. But that's okay, because I made one mistake. It kind of turned out to be really cool looking. And I don't call them mistakes. You know, they're like little happy accidents that happen. So, I'm going to let those dry. I'm going to go back over here with the white. Like I said, guys, I get these markers off of Amazon. I do have another pack over there that's not even been open, which will probably have to get open soon, because I'm noticing that the white is starting to kind of just fade really bad. It's not even like standing out now, and I don't like that. I can't really even see it. It's a little weird. But it could also be the color filament that I use. I did use rainbow filament on this, which, can you see? You see the white? It's like barely even there. So we might have to look at doing something like that. Hello, Lemon. I am like super excited, like I said, about Scarefest. That is my jam. I just love the vibe that I get from working these events. I love talking to people, which is really funny because I'm an introvert. I like to stay in my zone, and if it wasn't for a company that I was part of for 4 years, I don't know that I would be even doing lives, to be honest, guys, because it kind of brought me out of my shell, and I started trying new things, and I love being able to be on video. I love being able to see people pop in and say hello, and see all of the interaction and everything like that. It just makes me feel really good, and it's funny because I would say probably 6 years ago I would have been like, no, absolutely not. That's why I became a photographer. I want to be behind the camera. I don't want to be in front of a camera. And then I thought about a lot of things, going through family pictures. When my mother passed away, we were trying to gather up photos. She never liked her photo being taken. There were photos of her when she was little, and then there were photos of her that like people had captured over the years that maybe she didn't know where she was getting photographed, or she did know but she didn't like it. And I kept thinking to myself, that's not the legacy I want to leave behind. So I do a lot of selfies, which I never used to do stuff like that. I do a lot of photos with like my family when we're doing events or whatever, get-togethers, because I'm like, I just want to capture these moments, because some of those photos over there, I have 4 boxes of photos that I've got to go through. Some of those photos over there, you go through them and then you're like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. So to me, it's like walking down memory lane. That's one reason why I need to prepare myself to go through those, because there's pictures over there of my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my mom, my sister, my grandpa, aunts and uncles that I've lost over the years, cousins that I've lost. So to me, it's like, I need to mentally prepare myself and be able to go through all that. But I just I want to create. I want to get back into that space. It always has made me feel really good to create something and show people. And it's funny, like I said, I'm an introvert normally. And as a kid, it was like my family, my mom was one of 7, so there was always cousins and family always around. So that group, I was talk. When I went to school, they were like, she doesn't talk, she doesn't do anything. And then they were like, you got to start involving yourself in things. And then that kind of opened the floodgates at school. But it was always around people who I was comfortable with or people that I knew that I would be like talking all the time. It was the unknown that always made me uncomfortable. So I always tell people this: if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I want everyone to fulfill their dreams, fulfill their goals, have fun, be able to love what they do. And I am blessed to be able to do that. I'm blessed to be able to sit down and have a conversation with you guys and show you guys the 3D prints that we've been printing and the sublimation and DTF and all of the things that Riverstone Cottage Gifts has evolved into. When I first started Riverstone Cottage Gifts in 2019, and it's hard to believe that it's been since 2019, it's been a roller coaster of different products, things that didn't work out, things that did. I went onto Facebook to download all my videos because they were going to delete them, and I had 4 years of videos. I had over 600 and some videos on there that I wanted, and I realized not all of them were on YouTube or not all of them were saved. So I downloaded all of them, and I went back and watched a couple of them, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, look how weird the camera angle was, or my equipment didn't look, as advanced as it is now, and then I kept thinking, wait, you have to start somewhere. Like, reel that back. Negative attitude. Don't do that. You have to start somewhere. And I started there, and now I've been running my business now since 2019, October 2019. I have done multiple events. I have a lot of people who follow me on social media, and I'm not boasting, guys. I'm just saying I have grown past what I ever thought was possible. And so I want people I am a cheerleader for everybody. I want everyone to win. I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to do the things that they love to do for their job or their hobby or their whatever. And I took a hobby and kind of turned it into a job. And when I joined my first company that I was part of, it was a company that I was part of. It was the MLM, which is a multi-level marketing company. I was like, oh, I'm not going live. I'm not building a team. I'm not doing any of that. I just wanted to craft and create for myself. And I joined them in April, and turned it in July. I turned around and I started doing lives. And I was very self-conscious because I was losing my hair due to my autoimmune disease. And I was having like breakouts on my face, and I was just very uncomfortable being in front of the camera. I wore a hat in almost every one of my videos because I just didn't like the way it came across. Like, you could see my scalp, and it just, I hated it. And then I started getting a team, and then I went to my first leadership, and I realized, you know what? Why am I hiding behind a hat or, like trying not to be on camera? Why am I doing this to myself? I want everyone to know, everybody, doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what you sound like, doesn't matter any of that. Just be you. Just be you. And it took me a long time to realize, hey, I'm comfortable with me. I'm comfortable with myself. So I'm getting emotional about it, and I don't want to get emotional. But I've come a long way since then, and I just love the fact that I get to be me for all of you guys, and you get to see the real me, guys. I mess up. I say something wrong. I will be the first to admit I am a utter goofball. I will trip over my own feet. I will make a mess and be like freaking out about a mess that I made myself, and things like that. So I want you guys to see the behind the scenes of Riverstone Cottage, because I don't want you guys to just see, oh, here's a product on a website, done. You guys actually get to see the heart and soul of this company, and this is why I'm going live. This is why I want to share these lives with you guys. Like I said, I'm live on Twitch right now. Once this posts on YouTube, obviously you're going to have to catch it on a replay. Once it goes on to Facebook, it'll be a replay. But I would love for everyone to, I would love just everyone to win. I want everybody to win. If you are like, hey, I want to be an artist, do it. If you are like, hey, I want to be a gamer, do it. I love being able to do the things that I love to do. And I don't care. I'm not in that square box. I am not a 9-to-5er. I am not, hey, I go to work. And there's nothing wrong with people who do that. Let me add that in right now. There's nothing wrong with you having a stable job. There's nothing wrong with you having, a vacation once a year. There's nothing wrong with anybody's lifestyle. Everybody do you, okay? Stay on your path. I am just lucky that I get to do what I love, because I don't work for anybody else. I work for myself. However, that being said, as a small business owner, I don't work a 9-to-5. I work 24/7. Every moment is about this business. It's about me as well. Don't get me wrong. I do have some me time and I do all that kind of stuff, but I think about what's next. What can I do differently? The next live, what am I going to show everybody? Things like that. So when I'm not live, guys, I am still working. I'm downloading files. I'm, backlogging videos. I'm putting things on the website. I'm still working. So, if you are one of those people that you want to turn a hobby into a career, do it. I just say life's too short. I've lost so many family members. Here we go, getting emotional again. In the past year. And I've lost family way back, ever since I was about 13, 14. Might have been a little bit older than that when I first lost a family member that I remembered. Obviously, I had lost family members that I didn't know, or family members that, I didn't, they were gone before I was born or whatever. This past year has been so difficult for me. But my anchor has been, one, my family and my friends. But two, my business. My business has been an anchor for me. It has helped me realize, hey, look, you have this business and you can make it a success and you can do what you love, and you are blessed to be able to do that. And that's just, it's a huge, huge thing for me. I journal every day. I put my words down on paper. I'm old school. I write my mom and my sister letters every single day. It helps me cope. I've learned new coping mechanisms. I've learned that, hey, it's okay to not be okay. It has taken me many years to learn, hey, there's a such thing as self-care, and there's nothing wrong with you doing self-care. Self-care is very important. You can't pour from an empty cup. It took me many years to learn that. I was always a caretaker. I was always wanting to take care of everybody, and then I realized I wasn't taking care of myself. And so in doing that, I have now realized, hey, it's okay for you to go and buy yourself a tea from, Starbucks, or it's okay for you to and not feel guilty about it, because I would feel guilty. I'd be like, oh, I feel like I'm sneaking and I have this and they don't. It's silly, irrational thinking, but that's where my mind would go. So I'm learning to self-care. I'm learning to love myself and love my business and love my life. I'm very blessed, and I'm so grateful for every single person who follows me, every single person, even if you don't interact. If you're just following me and you're like, hey, that's support to me. And support for a small business is everything. And I don't even care if it's, hey, you have watched me for 5 years making this, making that, and then you're like, one day you're just like, hey, I'm going to share this out to the world. Or, hey, I'm going to tell other people. That's amazing too. So I want to thank every single person who has ever supported us, who is watching, who is interacting, who is maybe in the shadows because you don't want to interact. Maybe you just want to sit and listen. And that is great. And that is perfect. And I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Every single person makes a huge difference. And I want everyone to know, again, this is a safe space. You guys can talk freely in the chat. Nobody is going to judge you. Take care of your guys' selves. Take care of you because you are important. And I'm going to let you guys get ready. I'm going to get ready to get off here. I know it hasn't been an hour. Usually I try and stay on an hour. But I got some other things that now, like, my brain is going in a million miles. I'm like, oh, I could do this today. I could do this. That's the OCD, anxiety that just kind of, my brain just goes and kind of swirls out. But I'm going to let you guys go, and I will be live Friday. Hopefully we'll work on some sublimation. Let's do that as a goal. Let's put that out in the universe. Sublimation. I think that would be a fun project to work on. And I also think maybe trying to work on buttons then this month. That's a goal. And I like to do that too. I like to give myself little goals, little like things to me. And it could be the smallest little goal, guys. It could be, hey, I got out of bed today. Awesome. Hey, I took a self-care day. Fabulous. I sat down and read a book. Awesome. I watched a movie and just chilled. Great. I'm saying, like, every single thing like that, to me, if it's a goal that I have for that day, little baby steps. And I just, I'm just so grateful for everything. And going and doing that memorial for my grandpa, that was weird. It was weird. And I'm still wrapping my brain around it, why it was so odd. I honestly cannot figure out why it felt so weird to me. I don't know if it was because, I don't know. I have no idea why it felt so weird. But I have a lot of things coming up in the next couple months. That's why we're working on Scarefest stuff. I have my niece is graduating at the end of May. I have a trip with her planned at the beginning of June. I have a get-together in June for some family. I have a get-together for my sister's celebration of life in July. August, I have my Jeep invasion. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but we are big, big fans of Jeeps in my family. In this house, we have 5. I've owned 7 in my life. I learned to drive in a Grand Cherokee, and my mom had Jeeps. And we do that every year down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We will be doing that. And it just so happens to kind of coincide with my birthday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. September, I have a wedding. And I have graduations in between that time frame too, in June and July, and like graduation parties, and then October will be Scarefest. And so my year is kind of like but I am taking me time, and I'm going to actually go take some me time right now. I think I'm gonna go sit down and read a little bit and just kind of decompress and maybe watch some what I always call mind-numbing TV, stuff that I'm not really paying attention to, but it's there. And take the day, and then tomorrow, hopefully, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, start working on things. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. You guys have a fabulous night. I will see everybody here on Friday. And you guys take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And I hope everybody is amazing and doing well. All right, guys. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.